Emergency, guys. I don't know what's going on with JiDion. Someone just sent me this video. Why I deleted all my videos, and then I see that he had deleted all his videos. I don't understand what's going on. I know that he switched over to being like religious, or he's always been religious. Let me not say he switched over, but he switched over to making more religious content. As abrupt as it is, and as crazy as it is, I guess I get it. He's getting older and more mature, and he's changing. The change was a little radical, in my opinion. You know, a little quick, but that's also how things can happen. So
the sentence.
Sorry. So I get it. But I also don't understand why I remove all the old content. It seems like he's going through a little bit of a crisis. But okay, so there's 2 videos. This is why I deleted all. That's what I'm curious about. Let's see what's going on.
It's all gone.
Why? Did he delete or unlist?
This is all that's left. Let's go on the second channel.
Why? Seems like a little much. Again, I'm supportive of like the transition to being happier and more proud of your content.
Let's go on the third channel.
But it seems a little much.
Nothing left.
Okay. Well, I guess he made his bag, so he doesn't really need it. But
God did.
Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, JiDion, a.k.a. JiDion, a.k.a. DeMarcus Cousins III, a.k.a. I don't know what other names I have, but I know I have a lot.
okay.
I know a lot of you guys thought my last video was going to be my last video, and I thought that as well, but...
I could have swore he's been doing... Hasn't he been doing, like, daily or weekly sermons in one of his videos? Wait, what? Does he have... Right? Am I wrong about that? Did he stop doing that? JiDion Live. Well, he has the live thing, but I guess he just does the sermons and doesn't leave them up. I mean, we haven't done like a... Okay.
With the big change, as you guys can see on the channel, I felt like I owe you guys an explanation. I scourged the earth of all JiDion content. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be mad, bro. I mean, my DMs were... Woo! I had a lot of mean comments in my DMs about me just saying how I'm stopping making content. So the fact that I took away the content, I can only imagine how mad a lot of you guys would be.
I probably should check out the other. Maybe I will.
But this explanation isn't for the people that are mad. This is for people that are confused, for the people wondering. And I feel like you guys deserve a clear, very clear and detailed reason. Why did you delete all your videos, JiDion?
I would say so much for the 12-month medium gut from Beanie Boy. Hello. Hello. How are you?
The main thing that people have hit me with since I've given my life back to Christ is, why can't you follow Christ and...
Hold on, sorry. Hey, Chad, definitely needed to be around some good vibes, especially for today. Husband got sick and we can't pay rent. Could definitely use some positive vibes. Well, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that.
Make content. I mean, you're over here making millions upon millions of people happy. Isn't that...
Yeah, why not? Why can't you make the content and also be religious at the same time?
That of God? Isn't it a godly thing to put a smile on people's faces and to make them happy?
Well, although some of the, you know, listen, I'm not a huge fan of prank content. I like JiDion as a person. He's a nice guy. But most prank content, seems to centralize around, you know, bullying people. Although, like, I don't think that was all JiDion's content. I think, like, he had, I mean, the stuff that I checked out, it really wasn't that. I mean, there was a Best Buy video, but what was that, like 3 years ago? I mean, you know, whatever. You know, 3 years, like, who cares? It happens forever ago. So why not? Why not make some fun content?
Happy. And while bringing happiness to the world is of God, you can also bring happiness to the world through wickedness. You could bring happiness to the world by serving the devil, you know?
That's true.
Not all happiness is from God. And I know for a fact, you know, there's no Christian in the right mind that can make the case to say that the content that I was making was of God. And
I feel like, though, that you could just make some changes and make it more, I guess, more in line with God without making it explicitly about religion. Like, you don't have to make it super religious content, but you could, I mean, like, let's say there's some content that's a little dirty, just clean it up a little bit and make the same overall content, or maybe the memes. I don't know. I guess, am I wrong?
And I'm not gonna even try to make that case, you know? And, you know, if I'm gonna truly give my life over to God, I gotta also take out the wickedness that I put into the world. So, why did I delete all of my prank videos? Well, let's look up the definition of the word prank.
Oh,
and then let's hop into the scriptures and see what
I could see that he's not liking his old content. You know, I can respect it. I'm not bringing up EDP for like very long, but overall what JiDion was trying to do and catching him was good. But I feel like the energy around that whole last situation felt a little inappropriate to this scenario. You know what I mean? And so maybe it seemed like that was his last thing he did. Maybe that kind of fucked him up. Do you think he's trolling, or do you think he seems genuine? I mean, I think he's a genuine person. If he's trolling, that would just be unfortunate. I would just feel
Stalin
stupid.
Super
But
chatted $4.99. Papa, 99% of the time when I watch your videos, I'm just listening to them while working and driving.
Wow.
Blew my
Incredible.
mind that you play HOTS and BTD6 my faves.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Joseph Stalin
And thank
became
you for
a member.
thank you for the membership, Joseph Stalin. I appreciate you a lot. Historically, I'm just kidding. Thank you though. And so that seems to maybe that's where it started. I remember a while back, and this is actually when JiDion and I stopped kind of chatting too much. It was around the time where he expressed some frustrations in a video about commentary YouTubers. It was mostly about Ethan and Hassan being very critical of him. And I remember listening to that, I'm like, damn, I know it sounds weird, but I was like, damn, that was upsetting. He was like upset that commentary YouTubers were kind of like morally policing everything that he did. And, I would put the additional aspect of that of like in a disproportionate way, because that's what a lot of commentary YouTubers did. And that actually made me start to think like, oh, am I one of those commentary YouTubers that has like a bad impact on people? Like, am I one of the things that I don't talk about a lot, but one of the things that like really made me start thinking before my content shift of like, am I doing the right thing, was hearing that video. It's like, okay, I enjoy doing commentary. I love doing commentary. But like, was I part of the sensationalized pipeline of commentary content? And that's one of the things that made me start thinking like, okay, do I need to change it a little bit? And change myself up a little bit, and do I need to just not change even commentary? I enjoy talking about things. That's the only skill I have. I have no other talent other than to talk about other people. But I was like, oh, is there a way that I could be better? A way that I could be less sensational, whether it's intentional or not, because I feel like you get caught up in the online. Is the word diaspora? Is that the right word? Is that even a word? The online sphere, and you kind of get like rung up, and you kind of And so it was one of the things that I thought about. I was like, okay, so I wonder if that's part of it as well. It seems like he's been having like an identity crisis for the past year or so. So I feel like maybe that's part of the whole thing.
what God thinks about pranks. Because he actually did say some things about that.
God played some pretty epic pranks. God one time was like, kill your son, kill your child. And the guy's like, I'm going to kill him. And he's like, just stop it. I was kidding, idiot. You know what I mean? That was a funny prank. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking insane.
I didn't even know about them. Brother Josh showed me, but God did say some things about pranks. So this is from collinsdictionary.com. Prank, a noun, a mischievous trick or joke, especially one in which something is done rather than said.
Okay, sure.
If you do a trick on somebody, you have to deceive them. And we all know who is the master and the king of deception. That's
David Blaine.
Satan himself. So every time that I'm doing a prank or doing a prank on a person, I am literally practicing what the master prankster himself, Satan, did.
I suppose, and listen, I can be a little apprehensive about some aspects of the Bible. I've been going on like a whole year tangent. Not for a whole year, but for a while. Like, I've been very religious. At the beginning, when I experimented with polyamory, I remember going through like a significant mental distressor. I vividly remember driving in my car from work to home, which was an 18-minute drive at the time, and just considering like if what I'm doing is so against God that I'm going to go to hell. And since then, I've seen like a lot of conservatives use, regardless of the religion, a lot of religious texts to be oppressive to different people. And I've been like really racking my brain with that. But one of the aspects of the Bible, when you look at it from a storytelling perspective,
this is my first time catching a stream.
Incredible.
Super chatted $2. This is in fact my first time catching a stream.
I appreciate that. But one of the things you talk about is you look at it from a historical context. I'm kind of convinced at this point that I hope that there is a God, but the Bible is more of storytelling and not actual fact, because reality, I think that there's some things in the Bible, between the fact that there are like 3,000 different translations or versions of it, that the Bible must be a test in and of itself. But the reason I'm bringing this up from a historical context thing is that, like, back in the day, I think people were dumber than they are now. I know this sounds so silly, but we weren't as developed mentally. And so thousands and thousands of years ago, when the Bible was being written, I imagined that sarcasm maybe wasn't as much of a thing. We're so much more educated. In my opinion, I think sarcasm, the ability to detect sarcasm, is one of the things that signifies intelligence. Not always. I understand that there are some people who struggle with sarcasm, but I think you understand my point. And so my point is that back then, you know, a prank, being mischievous, I don't know. I feel like maybe it has a different historical context. You know, maybe it was more negative in its intention, or maybe people wouldn't be able to see that it was a joke or a prank, or there was a sphere that didn't allow that to be something that could be fun. All I'm saying is I don't think all pranks have to be bad or necessarily against God. I think that you can do them in a nice way. You know, like when I see somebody going into public and pretending to fart and then make eye contact with people, like, that's a funny prank. That's like just a silly prank. Now, then there's other people who go into public and punch somebody in the face while they're not looking at them. That might be satanic, so to speak, you know. Oh, you thought I was saying that the Bible was written sarcastically? I mean, fucking, who knows, maybe. Thank you so much for the 12-month small gut. My ninja is missing. Is that like racist? I don't know. Good afternoon, Santa God. Good afternoon.
Oh, you're dragging it, you're stretching it, but I'm gonna show you guys. Just
tell them about your prank. Oh yeah, I played a prank on my mom. I played a prank on my mommy the other day. I don't know what her reaction to the prank was, because I play the long game. So what had happened is my wife and we had gone out and we decided to go to Cheesecake Factory. My wife wanted to go there. We were supposed to go to a diner, but then she saw a Cheesecake Factory and said, I want Cheesecake Factory. And of course, my wife is spoiled, so she gets whatever she wants. And so what happened is afterwards, we were by my mother's house, and it was late at night, and I'm pretty sure she was sleeping. But I drove down the block. And the reason I drove down the block. I drove down it because I didn't know if she was home or not, if she was in like another state. Because she went to like a retirement party and she mentioned it, but I didn't know what day it was. It was a different one. She's old. A lot of people are dying and retiring around her. And I saw that she had garbage at the curb, and the garbage was a couple of Thanksgiving signs. You like to stick them in the dirt. And she was decorated for Christmas. So I was like, okay, my wife. I got out of the car. And I took the decorations and I tried to stab them into the ground and put them in front of the house to make her go fucking crazy. Like, I didn't take that out. Too cold outside, below 30 degrees. It was like 32 degrees, actually. So they didn't stick, but I just put them up against the house. And I'm waiting to see what happens. I'm going to go back the next garbage day, and I'm going to see if they're there again. I'm going to continue the process and just continue to fuck with my mother because it's funny. So... I feel like that's an acceptable. I feel like God would be laughing a little bit. I think he would laugh at that joke. I think he would think that was funny.
Stick with me. We're gonna go to Proverbs chapter 26.
Oh, prank! Fuck you!
Like a madman who throws.
Sorry, I didn't punch my mother in the face. Let me do that next. Let me hit her with the sign. I could do better. What are you talking about? I could do better? She's going to wonder what she did. My mother is 65 years old, and every once in a while she goes, did I remember to do something? This is literally gaslighting her into thinking that she's going crazy. You're too on the nose with your pranks. I'm not. I'm playing the long game. Consistently making my mom think that she never put out the Thanksgiving signs is something that's going to sit with her, and she's going to be so weird, and I'm never going to tell her. I'm not going to tell her about it. She's just going to think she's going fucking crazy. It's going to be funny.
Flaming darts and deadly arrows, so is the person who deceives his neighbor and says, I was only joking. So
yeah, but what if the neighbor that was being deceived thinks that it's funny? I'm not kidding. Like, listen, like Impractical Jokers, it seems like most of the people on there are like, that's funny that you pranked me. They get their consent, I'm pretty sure. So maybe the way that you move forward is you do pranks that will be lighthearted in some capacity, even if they're a little bit silly, and then you just go like, oh, like you have them sign a waiver, and if they liked it, like now you're spreading joy to them as well. I would say that the biggest issue here, the point of contention, is like, do you feel like you're spreading negativity to the person you're pranking? Try not to do that.
So Solomon is comparing playing practical jokes on people in the name of good fun as a madman shooting flaming arrows in the air. So basically he's saying a person that goes around pranking people is the same type of energy of a madman just going around killing people. And when you
That's obviously ridiculous. Just to be clear, that's insane. That's not that like that's insane. If that person actually insinuated that, he's a silly goose.
look at my content, bro, it's really not far off. I mean, I did a lot of crazy stuff in my videos, but the one thing I think that haunts me the most is one of my most popular pranks was whenever I snuck into the Gatorade HQ and I deceived the security guards and lied and said that I was working there and that I was part of the commercial team. And I got the prank done, got millions of views off of it. So many people giving me props. But what a lot of you guys don't know is 3 people lost their jobs because of me. Because I lied and was saying that I worked there, I got 3 security officers fired.
That's actually really fucked up. That's actually a horrible. I'm genuinely curious. What did he do as restitution for them?
That had been working there for years. All because I wanted to play a practical joke. All because I wanted to entertain you guys. And
okay, so did you give them money or something? I mean, obviously that wasn't his intention, but that's really fucked up to get 3 people to lose their jobs. That's actually a really like it wasn't his intention, and I can appreciate the accountability, saying that out loud when he didn't have to, you know, because obviously that's something that makes me drastically reduce my level of respect. But did you at least do something like, hey guys, I'm really sorry, here's like a few $1,000s or something, or like something, hopefully.
And that's evil.
But I could see why he's feeling some type of way about his content.
That truly is evil. And to those people that I got fired, I'm sorry. I truly am.
Hopefully a little more than just a sorry.
In Proverbs chapter 10, verse 23, okay. It says,
if that was the first apology you're giving him, man, that's a little fucking crazy.
It is a sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom. King Solomon, the most wisest man to ever live, is saying right here.
I'm pretty sure he was also Jewish. Right?
That a person that just does mischief for fun is a fool. And that's how I made my bread and butter, is I just like to do mischief.
Yep, he was apparently one of the 48 Jewish prophets. Okay.
For fun. And when you actually look at the word prank, a similar or synonym word for it is mischief. So mischief and prank mean the same thing. I
used to play a game on the Nintendo 64 called Mischief Makers. Do you guys remember that? Shake, 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 shake. That's it. That's everything I had to say.
But once I truly submitted myself to Jesus Christ, once I truly started reading his word, I got wisdom and I got understanding. And, you know, with this understanding, I would be a fool to go back into my old ways and keep on causing mischief, keep on pranking people, keep on ruining people's day just for my financial gain. I'll be a fool to do that. And not only would I be a fool, but I would be evil, especially with this understanding that I have. If I want to call myself a child of God, I gotta conduct myself like a child of God.
Yeah, you gotta hang out with the priest.
Can't be lukewarm out here, you know?
Sure.
Can't be half for the world and half for God. God wants all of us, not just half of us. And so when I came to that realization.
All right, well, I guess I respect the decision. I still personally think it would have been worth considering just trying to make the pranks better intentioned, a little, you know what I mean, a little more lighthearted, better intentioned, with the ability to make the person laugh that you're pranking. Lowering the stakes a little bit would be part of that as well.
That was the catalyst of me knowing that I was gonna have to stop doing pranks and eventually wipe as much as I could off the internet that I posted out there.
You hope it doesn't go down the Young Don route? Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know.
In Ephesians chapter 5, starting at verse.
What the hell is he doing at a fucking playground, though? And it looks like he's alone, so he's like setting it up, recording himself. It's interesting. Maybe he's in his artistic era.
3, Paul says, but sexual immorality and any impurity or greed should not even be heard of among you. As
let me tell you, there's a lot of sexual immorality among us here, guys. I mean, fuck, I jacked off today. I jacked off the femboys today. I don't give a fuck, you know? Like, sorry, God. But you did put my pleasure center in my rectum, so I'm feeling like maybe you don't really have a problem with that.
Upper for saints. Obscene and foolish talking or crude joking are not suitable, but rather giving thanks. Paul's letting us know right here, we shouldn't be saying dirty jokes or sexual.
too high of a bar. You know, I could be a nice guy, but I'm going to keep making dirty jokes.
Innuendos or anything like that. And if you've been a subscriber for me long enough, you know that's all I was about. Like literally, that was all I was about. And I mean, for prime example, all I would do would just make sus or sexual jokes.
Yep,
What you guys do?
Oh, we're doing Pornhub right now.
Who?
Pornhub.
Oh, fuck. Don't put me on a Pornhub, would you? You got some hot ladies?
Huh? No, dudes.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
What are you doing? Bro, why are you arching like that? What the hell? You gotta arch your back. Bro, why you arch your back? It's an arm movement. What the fuck?
Hold on to me tight. Say buy NLE's new album on 3. I'm a meat guzzler my whole life, so instead of gobbling meat, I want to gobble.
This looks like a femboy Hooters to me. What the hell's going on here?
You know, some eggplants and stuff.
Yeah, when you put it that way, I know exactly what you mean.
I would make merch hinting at homosexuality.
Leave.
Oh no, dude! Don't. I'm hoping that we're not. I hope we're not hitting that anti-gay dog whistle. I love homosexuality. All right, I love it. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think love is a beautiful thing, and I think that two gay guys loving each other is beautiful. That's all. There's no joke. All right. I think that God obviously intended for people to be gay, and that it is a test of the Bible. The homophobia is a Bible's test because it directly conflicts with the concept of loving other people and sharing and spreading love. So I think that the Bible put a test in there, a gay test, to see if you're silly enough to think that God actually doesn't love gay people. Okay. That's what I think.
The store now.
Like, we can kiss, like, I'm down.
Dude, stop filming now.
Bro, I'm down. We can kiss.
Call League City Police, please.
It's not gay, it's homosexual. And I would make merch promoting fornication and unprotected sex.
What's a raw dog?
Huh?
What's a fucking raw dogger, dude?
No hot.
It just really sounds like Jidion's overcorrecting. I feel like there's a proportionate correction that he could have made, and it feels like he's overcorrecting. Instead of going like, I need to take a break from all this and kind of reevaluate myself in the way I do pranks, he's like, everything that I've done is like so horrifically sinful. I disagree. You know, I feel like Orthodox religion and purist religious individuals, I'm not a particular fan of them. You know, I'm just not a huge fan. I love people. Not real. I hate all people. I hate people specifically, individually. Like on a personal level, I don't like anybody, but I love people in general. I am a people. I'm a person. And I love different cultures and different concepts and different ideas. And I think that these things clashing in a positive way can breed new ideas and better ideas. And I think it's a beautiful and lovely thing. So I love Muslims and Jews and Christians and Catholics and not Scientologists. Sorry, pussy, but I feel like people that are the most orthodox of any religion tend to be like the most hateful and the most negative. I think that there's a way to parse through the positives of the Bible of love and positivity and respect for others while also casting away the negatives, like you can't use silk and gays are bad, you know, and just understand that, you know, and what I like to think is that God gave us a message and then people played telephone tag with it, you know. But I just hope he's not going too far into the like, oh, I don't really like gay people kind of stuff. But maybe I'm just misinterpreting it. I could just be salting it a little too much. So
hot dog bun in the bedroom.
I have this sort of thing where I don't like condoms and I don't use them.
Based.
Well, you put it on and then tuck it off.
These guys look like they would be in the movie The Dark Crystal.
I'm a professional raw dogger.
And he basically gave me like a big shout out on national TV. And I was like, bro, I'm gonna pull up to you. Or you had Xavier, how long would you say you were a professional raw dogger for?
Since I lost my virginity.
And when did you lose your virginity?
16.
Did it get lower? What's
So
happening?
you went on like a good little stretch, but then you slipped up.
Damn.
I'm gonna have to demote you to amateur raw dogger status. You know, you're the first ever person I demoted. And I would literally have kids always run up to me to this day, still. Just the other day, I had a kid come up to me. Couldn't have been more than 13, 14 years old, telling me, oh, I'm a professional raw dogger. Oh,
damn, that's rough.
I'm a professional raw dogger.
You know, obviously I've never been as big as JiDion. But I've had people walk up to me, especially when I was like at the height of my TikTok, and I've never had that problem in my entire life. No one's ever, and I made some edgy jokes. No one ever walked up to me and said, "Kill gay people," like they did with Sneeko. The weirdest interaction I ever had with most of the time, they're like young men that are like very mature. You know, like I was at Disney and one of the guys who worked there noticed me and they're like, "Oh, are you, I noticed my wife." And, that was cool. And he's like, "Oh, thanks. I really appreciate it. You had like a positive impact on me." I was like, "Oh, thanks." The weirdest one was when I was at a mall, and I've told this story, but I was at a mall, and there's a guy I'm pretty sure has autism, and he worked for the movie theater, and he's a cool guy. He's a nice guy. He's very helpful. Like he's specifically been helpful to me and my wife before when we were trying to see a movie. And like young kids always fuck with him, and young boys are pieces of shit. So one time they were being real rude, and my wife said something to them, and they started giving her shit. So I said something to them, and I started giving them shit. And then one of them was like, "Oh, are you Papa Gut?" And then he shook my hand.
Bill Cosby became a member.
Thank you, Bill Cosby. I really like your work. And then he shook my hand, and I shook his hand. I said, "You guys are young men now. You have to grow up and not harass people. It could be you working this job." And that was the most negative interaction I ever said. But that one kid who was a fan of me, he felt clearly he felt embarrassed for his friends. But I've never had like anybody walk up to me and do weird shit. And I make a lot of jokes too. So it's interesting that I've never had that. I've never had a person in person come up to me and like have a problem with me. Even when it's like younger men that like, "Oh, are you Papa Gut?" I've never had like an issue with like super immaturity, even though I've made some jokes. I never thought about it until now. People would complain about some of my content. I feel like I have not had like this horrible negative impact in the world that people tried to convince me that I had. Are you guys just making like new accounts, Bill Cosby, Joseph Stalin, to like subscribe to me as a meme? I mean, I don't care. It's giving me money. You guys are just fucking weird.
And now with these new set of eyes, I just know as an influencer, I felt this generation horribly, I did not contribute for the positive. I contributed for the negative. I contributed for the enemy.
Damn, what's this woman doing here?
And so to all the youngins.
Oh, she's got her kid.
Even the older
What's happening over here?
I influence with my jokes and my perverted.
JiDion, you're blocking the slide.
Thoughts. I'm sorry.
You're blocking the slide, JiDion.
In Galatians chapter 5, verse 26, Paul says,
"That's right.
Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, and envying one another." And y'all, that was my bread and butter. Like, my bread and butter was provoking people. Like, I was so good at it. I knew how to press people's buttons.
You're getting up behind that line. You're bugging me when I'm drawn. I've told you 2 times to get out of here. You think you're funny. You're about as funny as a brain tumor.
That's actually very funny. If my dad got the brain tumor, it would make me giggle.
Get out of here, dude. Right, dude, I've told you like 4 times, get off that chair. This is a place of business. This is not your chair. If you don't get out of here right now, you're really gonna regret it, man.
This guy would actually hit JiDion, I think.
Right.
You could tell in his voice. There's something about his voice that you could just tell that those people with that kind of voice will hit you,
You go behind this rope again and they'll fuck you up, dude, right?
I mean, like, yeah, this is just like weirdly dumb and disrespectful. Like, you're just violating people's personal space and like being unprofessional. This is the content that I don't appreciate. I think it's like shitty. When it's more fun, that's what I'm saying. Like, make this more fun. Instead of harassing this guy, do something different, that's still fun. Like, I saw somebody go to a Walmart and he pretended to be a Walmart person and then he ate the guy's receipt. I was like, wow, that was funny. The guy had a meltdown. I don't understand why. But, like, that's a funny prank to me. There's one where the guys get on all fours and they just start walking through the store on their hands and knees. It's like there are pranks that aren't so bad. My wife asked in the chat a serious question. Did someone important to him die or get very sick? That's actually a good question. Because I know that for me, when my grandfather and then my uncle passed away, you really will start to go through an identity crisis on your introduction of like death or some kind of suffering in that capacity. So that could definitely have an impact for sure. I agree with that. I mean, I don't know, but it could happen.
Dude, I have told you, if you touch that paper again,
I just want to slice the
mess you
paper.
up, all right? I'll mess you up. Get out of here right now. I've told you 4 or 5 times. Stop touching the desk. Stop touching the paper.
I don't know why this guy doesn't just like call security though. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that it's always 100% acceptable to harass these like English guards, like the Queen's Guard or the King's Guard or whatever they are. Because what are you doing? Like, why are you dressed so preposterously? These people, English, British, I don't care. Whatever silly, you guys look like nutcrackers. You guys look like you're about to go on display on a play. You guys look like you're wearing an outfit from the Barbie movie. Why is that tough to you? It's not badass that they stand still next to a horse, looking like the Gumdrop Prince. I don't really get it. It's kind of pussy shit. Meanwhile, American military members are always down to throw fucking hands. And it's like, do you guys think that anybody respects you dressed like that? You look like a little goose, a silly little goose. Nobody respects your country because of that. What the hell is this? Okay, we're in camera. You can't even see us. It's like a bunch of John Cena's around, but you don't even know it. It's incredible. So.
Tickle, tickle.
Paying us for this? I don't think you are.
Y'all look famous.
We're not doing that.
But you look famous.
I feel like this is just like a funny prank. This one's funny.
Who are you?
I'm with the Hollywood Fit.
We see the cops right here, so if you would like us to get them on you, we can definitely do that. We're working. Walk away. Walk away.
Can I please?
I actually think it is harassment. Just to be clear, my understanding, and I could be wrong, is the law is like you can record people in public if you're in public recording, but you're not allowed to like follow somebody and like record them specifically. I'm pretty sure. That's my understanding. You know what I mean? I could be wrong about that, but I remember I heard a cop say that. Cops are always right. They're always smart. So.
Can you hook me up, bro? We good, bro? I just want my size 13, man. If you good, I'm good.
Who's Garfunkel?
I'll take your camera and I'll smash that shit up.
That wouldn't be cool, bro.
I don't care. I don't care. I told y'all stop fucking with my business and y'all came back again today after I already told y'all yesterday.
And granted, that wasn't always.
Well, it sounds like he downloaded some of his videos. Sounds like you still have them saved up.
It's my intention.
Maybe that's the whole thing. He's going to start re-releasing the videos.
Going out filming. I'm not going to lie on myself. But whenever I would do that, I would get a feeling inside just knowing, oh, I just got a banger video. Because this dude lost his cool for a couple seconds because I was provoking him.
Yeah.
I just profited millions of views off of that. And while I'm getting admiration from millions of people, this dude's about to be humiliated in front of millions of people.
Yeah.
And I really didn't care,
Well, your fans are young, so they're not really people. I don't think you're a person until you're like 25, honestly, because you're just such a stupid little asshole. Poppy, do you think that JiDion and Pokemon are still best friends, or is Pokey too hedonistic? I don't think that JiDion and Pokemon were ever friends. I think that JiDion trolled her, and I think that Pokemon's just a shitty, bad person. I really think that she is such a soulless, bad person. You really can't be friends with somebody, Hassan, and be a good person. That's just my opinion. If you can't see through that, then you're either a fucking idiot or you're a piece of shit. So,
as long as it furthered my goal, as long as it furthered my career, like, I could really care less. And the numbers back me. I mean, look at my content. Every video where it was someone getting angry or someone getting in my face, those are my most viewed videos because when you provoke people and when you get people out of their
funny. I can't wait for him to lose faith so he can re-upload them. Stop.
Their element, when you get people in a spirit of rage, it gets views. And I would profit off of that. And I was teaching younger kids that were looking up to me, this is how you blow up. This is how you get big.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, it sounds like I could appreciate some of the things that he's saying. Like, I perfectly respect that. You've seen a massive uptick in prank content, and JiDion is a hugely influential prankster, and some of the pranks are just shit, like not necessarily of his, but like, yeah, even of his. I mean, he showed some of them. It's just like harassment. There's a funny line that you can hit, and I feel like people cross that. Extreme examples are those two kids that walked up behind people, just punched them in the side of the head. It's like, that's a prank to some people. It's obviously not right.
By provoking people, by making people just trying to do their day or work their job, by getting them angry because you're doing what you're not supposed to. And so to everybody that I ever provoked in my videos, to everybody that I embarrassed and humiliated in front of millions of people, I'm truly sorry.
Okay. I would apologize. Okay. I mean, I would try to get in contact with them.
What's up, y'all?
We can take a picture?
Yeah, of course, man. How y'all boys doing?
What you doing over here?
I mean, JiDion, at this point, though, do you really think you should be taking pictures with fans? I mean, let's be real. You're not that guy anymore, right? You're taking pictures with people who were a fan of who you once were. That's not you anymore. So shouldn't you disavow those fans? Say, fuck you! I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But it is something to think about. I'm just making like a weird joke.
My last video. My last one.
For real?
Damn, he rolled his eyes.
Yo.
God bless. Of course.
Appreciate it. Stay safe.
Y'all too. Y'all too.
That's awkward. What's up with this big beach chair? My thing is, I don't trust religious people, but I definitely don't trust people who become super religious out of kindness, out of nowhere, because I feel like it's usually a phase. Maybe. I understand that TikToker Jay or whatever. Who are you talking about? I don't know. I can understand going through some kind of an identity crisis. You know, I get it. I mean, I kind of shifted my whole fucking channel because of an identity crisis. It didn't make a super massive shift, but there are times where I overcorrected. I've gone through stuff like that. I can identify with some of the stuff going on here. Thank you so much for the 8-month small gut from KD. First time here. Kidding. Hope the guts are well. We're very well. Thank you.
This is my last point right here. The world is in for trouble because of the way,
and sometimes you got to make it double.
It causes people to sin. There will always be something to cause people to sin, but anyone who does this will be in for trouble. So basically what Christ is saying right here is the world is already in trouble because there's sin in it. Okay. But there's going to be even more trouble for
But people come down and stabilize after it. So yeah, probably. I mean, that's typically what happens. You kind of overcorrect and then you come back down and you stabilize a little bit. Even myself, I feel that as well. I feel like there was a moment where I like super overcorrected. So
the people that are causing people to sin.
But am I many things? Or did you do a tattoo artist lady about break up with their boyfriend? They're British. I don't even know what you're talking about. Maybe
the influence that I have.
What's so much stuff?
I know for a fact. I've seen it. I've caused a lot of people to sin. Verse 8. If your hand or foot causes you to sin, chop it off. Throw it away.
Bro, you think I'm not chopping my dick off. Get the fuck out of here, dude. It's not even, it's already too small. How the fuck am I going to do that for?
You will be better off to go into life crippled or lame than to have 2 hands or 2 feet and be thrown into fire that never goes out. If your eye...
There are some people now who try to hurt themselves and give themselves disabilities so that they don't have to go to work. You know, it's interesting. I saw a girl try to blind herself once so she didn't have to get a job. Kind of base, but
causes you to
I don't have the balls for that.
Sin, poke it out, and get rid of it. You will be better off to go into life with only 1 eye than have 2 eyes and be thrown into the fires of hell. So Christ isn't being literal here when he's telling us to chop off our arms or to poke out our eyes if they're causing us to sin. What he's saying is, whatever it is that's causing us to sin, we need to cut it out of our life. And a lot of you guys got this message. I've gotten so many messages
Some
from...
guy super chatted $5. First time here. Hope you're having a good night.
Thank you. Sorry, I paused for a second because everybody's been telling me it's my first time here. And I think this actually is your first time here. It says it's your first super chat in the live stream. But also, I feel like you're a person that made a new account just to say, make your name some guy and give... But I thank you either way. Okay, I've been watching for a long time now, but literally my first stream. Okay, awesome. It's been the stream meme lately to tell me it's the first time here and then give me donations. And I love the donations, but it's weird, so I was confused. Thank you.
Porters saying that they stopped watching me because of the content that I was making because they wanted to get closer with Jesus. And to all you guys that cut me off, I applaud you. I really applaud you. I got nothing but respect, and I love you for cutting me off. Thank you. And for the ones of you that came back to me, I appreciate you guys for coming back, you know? Now you guys can watch some good content. But this is for the ones of you who won't cut me off. Okay. These are for the ones of you that love me for the way I was.
I feel like, I mean, if you're deleting the channel anyway, you know, well, first of all, I don't think that you should get rid of the videos. I think you should have kept them. But then, like, why not shift to religious content and make it, like, a little more consistent? Maybe just do live streams, religious live streams. Not super preachy, like, hey, I mean, listen, if you're looking to spread the positivity, not super preachy, like, look, this thing happened and I'm morally outraged about it. Because I don't think that's in line with JiDion's brand. I think that his brand is not to, like, specifically, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But to just do a sermon, talk about a general, vague issue, the right way to engage with it, you know, something like that. Why not do something like that? You know, to keep the videos up, it draws people to your channel, and then like maybe they'll see the live and go like, oh, this guy's like he's a God-fearing man. He's a beautiful God-fearing man. But okay.
I can't be the
recovering Catholic here that came out of a religion full of ridiculous rules. Yeah, I kind of agree.
way I was anymore.
No jacking off in a porn theater. You guys, isn't that crazy? You guys remember Pee Wee Herman? He got arrested once for jacking off in a nudie film. And it's like, what else are you supposed to do there? Like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of unfair. You want me to get charged up in there? Like, I also don't get why you would go to one of those. Just go watch porn. Although back then it wasn't there. They had magazines.
And I won't ever be the way I was.
He does religious content reactions? I can't find his other channels, though. That's why I'm saying, like, does he actually have another channel that he does religious content reactions? Because I don't see it. Like, it's not on his... Oh, he still has stuff on his shorts channel. That's weird. Anyway, I can't see any other content unless it's, I mean, there's a Discord invite, but
anymore. So if you won't cut me off from you, then I need to cut myself off from you. So that's why I deleted all my videos.
Okay.
I don't want to be the stumbling block in your way no more. I don't want to be the reason why you keep on living in sin. I don't want to be a hindrance from keeping you from the kingdom of God. No longer. So that's why all my content is gone. And that's why I'll never come
on Rumble or Kick
back.
Maybe.
And while I know we made a lot of content is gone. And that's why I'll never come back.
Damn.
And while I know we made a lot of good memories and I know a lot of my content wasn't quote unquote that bad, I'm gonna just get rid of all of it.
Okay.
It's all gone.
Beautiful
I'll never be seen again. Because I love you guys.
Beanie Boy super chatted $4.99. First time viewer. Who is this guy? Is he Boogie's twin?
Me? Jesus Christ.
To answer the question, why did JiDion delete all his videos? I deleted it because of you.
Damn.
That's why
that's me, man.
Deleted it. I love you guys that much. Even though I haven't met all of you guys, even though I don't know all you guys, I love you that much. Beautiful that's the stuff. Reason why I deleted all my content. Okay. So that hopefully one day you can all repent and turn to our one Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So yeah, y'all. This is my last video. No more ever gonna be posted again. Unless you guys come to my new channel on JiDion where it's only Christian content.
Oh, he has a new channel. Why isn't his new channel in his description though? What? Well, okay. Okay, he has a new channel. Okay. Okay, JiDion. Oh, okay. I guess this is the new content. All right. Cool. Good for him, man. Good for him. Incredible.
But until next time, peace. Love you guys.
Wow.
See you never.
I think it's supposed to be pointing to the channel over here, but it's not in the video. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Good. Hopefully he finds himself.